Well, I don't think it's since I've been speaking out about it, but obviously a lot of people have a lot more to do with it than me, and have put massive efforts to letting people know that 1 in 5 Canadians suffer from some sort of mental health issue. So that means right here when we're talking around this scrum, that's at least 2 of us, probably 3 of us, that suffer in our own way. And I think what the message is mainly is don't suffer in silence. And there's lots of help out there, whether that be some support through a psychologist, whether that be medication, doctor's help, whether that be your family, your people at work. There's so many ways that you can get help. And what I really appreciate are the people, whether it be Michael Landsberg, whether it be Claire Hughes, whether it be Paul Ranger, all these people that have been through it and now step out and show. They've been very successful in their sport. They're obviously very mentally tough. They've been very driven, and yet they still suffer. And I just know of a couple of people the last couple of years, CEOs of companies that seem to have everything great, have wives, have kids, seem to have the life all, and the next thing you know, they take their own life. It's just a sad, sad thing. So obviously, the more people in position to use their notoriety to draw attention to it, I think the better off you are. So that's, to me, why we're involved.
The pressures also start for players at a very young age, right? Competitive hockey. Do you think the support structures have kind of improved there too?
Well, I think we're really trying. I know in the Major Junior Hockey League, the Canadian Hockey League across Canada, they've done a real good job in educating their players. Everybody takes a course now, and open up about it. But when it really hit home for me, obviously, a couple of friends lost family members, a son and a husband, in a short period of time. But the other thing that happened in my life is my kids were getting ready to leave home, whether that be leaving to play junior hockey, that be going to college, whatever. In your own little town, in your own little school, everything was controlled environment, and you'd had success. Suddenly you're out there in the real world, and maybe your marks aren't quite as good. Maybe you're not getting to play. Maybe the stresses on you are unreasonable. You got to have a way to manage that. And I'm not saying when you're under stress that means you have any sort of mental illness. What I am saying though is I think it's very important to talk to your kids and listen to your kids and make sure you know what's going on with them, because you don't want to find out too late. You want to be involved as much as you possibly can as a prudent parent.
Mike, with a couple days of reflection since the last game in Dallas, what did you like about those lines that you've kept intact here?
Well, I mean, the line's fine, but I like the work ethic. I like the speed of the team. I like the way we got after it instead of standing around watching it. So, we've talked a lot about it here, is each year you have to find a way to play for your group to be successful. We think we know how we're supposed to play. Now we got to do it, and you got to do it every day. And I mean, it's hard. It takes work, but is it worth it in the end? Well, if you learn to play right, I mean, you might have to cancel a couple of camping trips in the spring or something. You could actually go a little bit later, things like that. I don't know what's the bad deal about playing better and playing harder. So to me, we have enough in the room to become a better hockey club, and that's what we're working towards. I think our guys are bought in. I think they want that, and so there's lots of good teams we're going to play each and every night. You got to prove it each and every night on the ice, but we just want to keep getting better.